Smash like.
Of the
Well,
five.
these Four Noble Truths tie back to what you're talking about, consuming and advertising and so on. Was
Sure.
you basically realized life is pain, life is suffering, or the word was dukkha. And dukkha, a lot of times it's translated as pain, but
Yeah.
that's not really entirely. It's more, I like to consider it, I think it's more along the lines of ennui. This general malaise, general unsatisfied.
Like
It can go to the
dissatisfaction
extreme
with
of
what's
things.
going on.
Yeah, it covers everything from a child crying because he didn't get a cupcake to somebody suffering from cancer. It covers all of that. Dukkha covers that whole range of just unhappiness, of pain, suffering. That's what life is.
Gotcha.
And it's caused by, he realized it's caused by craving, by a desire. Craving is one word. Desire is the more classic. And that desire can be desire for food, desire for attention, desire, anything that you're desired to, and also attachments. So you become attached to this thing because it makes you happy. But after a while, what happens though is we become familiar with it. And so the thing that made you happy no longer is quite as satisfying, particularly with, say, drugs or alcohol. It's like,
Well, it's like the first
a little's good,
ice
and a
cream,
little more.
on a,
It's
on a
fading
hot day,
return.
you go and get that ice cream cone, and that first bite of ice cream is like, oh, this is so
Now I
good.
got it.
And then the second one's good, and the third one's good. But then I'm like, okay, now I got to finish this ice cream cone before it melts. You know what I mean? Like, it's just.
But dukkha even goes to the next day when you're thinking, I could go for an ice cream cone. That's dukkha too. That's that desire, that.
So it's sustained by the fulfillment of it.
Mm-hmm. Well,
Okay.
somewhat.
Somewhat.
It's offset, but it's never as much. That's the nature of the world. Yeah, it fades. It's like, okay, that first bite was great, but now I got to deal with all of this.
If I go out and buy a sports car tomorrow, I'm going to really enjoy that sports car, probably for a couple months,
until the next model comes out.
Every time I get in that sports car, I'm be like, wow, this is really awesome. And then, but I think even that, like you said, that will fade eventually.
Mm-hmm.
I remember
so
when
realized that, yeah.
Yeah. But
he said, okay, there's a way to get out of this. Is that whole craving and desire. And he says there's a way to break out of it, and that's where the Eightfold Path comes in, which is right mind.
Oh, what are the Four Noble Truths, by the way? Did you find it?
Yes. So life is pain. It's caused by desire and craving. There is a way to end this desire and craving, and that's by following the Eightfold Path.
Gotcha.
So it sort of like leads into the next thing.
And then the Eightfold Path. I think I just read it. Well, I did. I read a Titch, not Han, book. It was about the Eightfold Path, and I have to admit, I was a little bogged down by that. But the yeah. So I don't know if we'll go into that.
Yeah, that's a little deeper in. But basically, it's just think of it like and not so much thou shalt nots like the Ten Commandments.
Yeah.
But more like, if you are looking to attain enlightenment and release from dukkha, from this cycle, this samsara cycle of pain, then live this way.
So they're like suggestions.
Yes, very much so.
Gotcha. So it's like, we're not telling you what to do, but this has worked for other people.
Yeah, this is good for getting you to the end point of not craving so much.
So